In the shadowy corridors of history, where legends whisper and the sands of time swirl, a figure emerges, bold, defiant, and regal. But who was this queen who dared to stare down the might of Rome and carve her name into the annals of time? A ruler so fearless her name became synonymous with rebellion and resilience. In the heart of the Syrian desert lies the ancient city of Palmyra, a crossroads of cultures and a beacon of wealth and beauty. It was here in the 3rd century AD, amidst the sand and stone, that Zenobia began her astonishing journey. But who was Zenobia before she became a legend? Zenobia was born around 240 AD. The exact date and place of her birth are not documented, but it is generally believed she originated from Palmyra. Zenobia's early life unfolded during the crisis of the 3rd century, a period marked by military upheaval, political instability, economic decline, and external threats to the Roman Empire. This context is crucial for understanding her later actions and the relative autonomy Palmyra enjoyed. She was said to belong to a noble family, with some ancient sources claiming she descended from the Ptolemies of Egypt and possibly Dido, the legendary founder and queen of Carthage. These claims, likely embellished, were part of her family's effort to assert their prestige and possibly legitimize her rule by linking it to renowned historical figures. Zenobia was highly educated and proficient in several languages, including Aramaic, Greek, Latin, and Egyptian. She was known for her interest in intellectual and philosophical matters, reportedly surrounding herself with scholars and philosophers. Ancient sources often emphasize Zenobia's remarkable beauty and intelligence, describing her as possessing a mind as keen as her striking appearance. Zenobia was noted for her equestrian skills, with some accounts stating she rode horseback in the manner of a warrior, fully armored. This was highly unusual and impressive for a woman of her time. Some legends suggest that Zenobia maintained her vitality and beauty by drinking mare's milk, a practice associated with nomadic peoples of the steppes. By 260 AD, Zenobia married Odenathus, the king of Palmyra. This union was not just a marriage but a partnership that would lay the foundations for her future rise to power. The turning point came in 267 AD, the assassination of Zenobia's husband Odenathus and his heir, her stepson. This moment propelled Zenobia into the forefront of Palmyrene and Near Eastern politics. Odenathus, the king of Palmyra and a Roman client ruler, along with his eldest son, were murdered under circumstances that remain murky and are subject to much historical speculation. Following the assassination, Zenobia proclaimed herself the protector of her young son, Wabalat, Latinized as Vabalathus, who was likely around 10 years old. By declaring herself and her son the successors to Odenathus, Zenobia effectively positioned herself as the regent and de facto ruler of Palmyra and its territories. Zenobia's declaration was not merely a protective measure for her son, but also a clear statement of her intent to continue and expand upon Odenathus's policies of maintaining Palmyra's autonomy and prosperity within the Roman Empire. As protector of Vabalathus, Zenobia ruled in his name, but it was clear from the onset that she was the driving force behind Palmyra's governance and military campaigns. Vabalathus was given the titles of King of Kings, and later, more provocatively, Augustus, Emperor, signaling Palmyra's increasing assertion of sovereignty. Under Zenobia's stewardship, Palmyra not only maintained its status but flourished, expanding its territory significantly. Her leadership during this period is marked by a series of successful military campaigns, the enhancement of Palmyra's economic infrastructure, and significant cultural patronage, making the city a center of learning and culture. During Zenobia's time, the Roman Empire was navigating through a period of significant turmoil and transformation known as the Crisis of the 3rd Century, approximately 235 to 284 AD. This era was characterized by a series of challenges that threatened the stability and continuity of the empire. The Roman Empire faced constant threats from external enemies on multiple fronts. Germanic tribes such as the Goths and Franks raided across the Rhine and Danube frontiers, while the Sassanid Persian Empire posed a significant threat in the east. The period saw a rapid succession of emperors, many of whom came to power through military coups rather than dynastic succession. This led to a phenomenon known as the soldier emperors, where generals supported by their troops could claim the imperial purple. The frequent changes in emperorship, coupled with the challenges of managing a vast empire, led to periods of fragmentation where regions like the Gallic Empire, in the west, and the Palmyrene Empire, in the east, broke away from Roman control, declaring their independence under local rulers. The Roman economy suffered from severe hyperinflation, partly due to the debasement of the currency. Emperors frequently reduced the silver content in coins to fund their military campaigns, leading to a loss of confidence in the currency. Ongoing military conflicts and instability disrupted trade routes, affecting the economy's supply and distribution chains. Regions that depended on trade, such as Egypt and the eastern provinces, were particularly hit hard. To fund the military and bureaucratic apparatus, heavy taxes were imposed on the provinces, exacerbating economic hardships and leading to social unrest among the populace. This period also saw the continued rise of Christianity, which, while initially facing persecution, began to establish itself as a significant religious force within the empire. Zenobia's actions in establishing the Palmyrene Empire can be seen as both a symptom and a consequence of these widespread problems. 269–270 AD. Zenobia begins her expansionist campaign, extending Palmyrene control over parts of the Roman East, including Syria and Egypt. Her forces capture Egypt by defeating the Roman prefect, asserting her dominance over a key grain-producing region. 271 AD. Zenobia continues her conquests into Asia Minor, presenting a significant challenge to Roman authority in the region. Her rule is characterized by a combination of military strength, administrative skill, and cultural patronage. Palmyrene victories in Asia Minor were not just about territorial expansion, they were symbolic, challenging the very heart of Roman authority. Zenobia's rule over these lands was marked by a blend of firm governance and cultural integration, showcasing her as a leader capable of not only conquering but also administering a diverse empire. Zenobia's power was in 271 AD when she declared her son Vabalithus as emperor of Rome's eastern provinces. This audacious move was a direct affront to the authority of the Roman emperor, Aurelian. The Roman response was inevitable. In 272 AD, Aurelian launched a military campaign to reclaim the lost provinces and confront Zenobia. The Roman legions marched with relentless determination, recapturing territory lost to Zenobia. The Battle of Imay, a pivotal confrontation between the forces of Zenobia and Emperor Aurelian of Rome, marked a decisive moment in the struggle for control over the Eastern Roman Empire. The exact location of the Battle of Imay is not precisely known, but is believed to have been close to Antioch, one of the largest cities of the Roman East and a strategic urban center for both the Palmyrene and Roman empires. The battle itself was characterized by Aurelian's use of strategic maneuvering to offset the advantages that Zenobia's cavalry, which included heavily armored Palmyrene cataphracts, might have offered on open terrain. Aurelian's forces, though potentially outnumbered, were well disciplined and benefited from his keen tactical mind. He managed to draw Zenobia's forces into a position where their mobility was limited, neutralizing one of their key strengths. Roman discipline and tactics, combined with the strategic use of infantry and lighter cavalry to counter the heavy Palmyrene cavalry, played a crucial role in the outcome. The defeat of Zenobia's forces at Imay was a significant blow to her ambitions. Not only did it mark the beginning of the end of Palmyra's challenge to Roman authority, but it also demonstrated the limitations of her expansionist policies. Following the battle, Zenobia retreated to Palmyra, where she prepared for a siege. Before confronting Palmyra directly, Aurelian captured Tyana, a key city in Asia Minor, which opened the path to Syria. According to some sources, Aurelian spared the city after being moved by a dream, showcasing his occasionally merciful approach. After advancing through Syria, Aurelian laid siege to Palmyra. The city was well defended and resisted the Roman siege initially, but eventually fell due to a combination of military pressure and possible betrayals within Zenobia's ranks. Roman siege tactics typically involved encircling a city to cut off supplies and reinforcements, employing siege engines, and conducting direct assaults on the city walls. However, the specific tactics Aurelian used during the siege of Palmyra are not detailed in surviving historical accounts. The rapid fall of the city suggests that either its defenses were breached more quickly than expected, or that elements within the city may have favored surrender to avoid further destruction. As Palmyra's situation became increasingly desperate, Zenobia made the fateful decision to flee the city. Her likely destination was the Sassanid Empire, Rome's major rival in the east, where she might have sought asylum or assistance to continue her resistance against Rome. However, Zenobia's escape attempt was unsuccessful. Roman cavalry, alerted to her departure, pursued her entourage. Zenobia was captured near the Euphrates River, a significant distance from Palmyra, but not far enough to reach the safety of Sassanid territory. Following the capture of Zenobia and the fall of Palmyra, Aurelian treated the city with a degree of leniency initially, a decision possibly influenced by his respect for Zenobia or his desire to swiftly reintegrate the territory into the empire with minimal resistance. However, Palmyra would rebel again shortly after, leading to a second, more destructive Roman campaign that decisively ended the city's status as a political and economic power. These events marked the end of one of the most remarkable episodes of defiance against Roman authority in the 3rd century AD, leaving Zenobia as a symbol of resistance, ambition, and the complex interplay of power in the ancient world. Zenobia is taken to Rome, where she is paraded in Aurelian's triumph. Contrary to the fate of many captured enemies, Zenobia is spared execution. According to some accounts, she is granted an estate in Tibur, modern Tivoli, where she spends the rest of her life in a comfortable retirement. The exact date of Zenobia's death is not recorded, but she likely lived a few years after her capture, fading from the historical record but not from the legacy of her remarkable life. Zenobia's reign over Palmyra represents one of the most fascinating episodes in the history of the Roman Empire, highlighting themes of female leadership, cultural synthesis, and the challenges of imperial governance. Her story, woven from the threads of history and legend, continues to captivate scholars and enthusiasts alike. These aspects of Zenobia's life and legacy contribute to her status as one of the most fascinating and enigmatic figures in ancient history, embodying the complexities and contradictions of power, gender, and resistance in the ancient world. If you've been inspired by the tale of Zenobia, or if you're simply a lover of the mysteries and marvels of the past, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us uncover more stories, bringing the shadows of history into the light. Stay curious, keep exploring, and until next time, keep the spirit of the past alive in the stories we share today.